Hello traders, FX Pip Collector here. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, and this is my morning market breakdown of the US dollar pairs and a couple of the yen pairs, including gold. So anyways, the US dollar index did kind of respect the 61% Fibonacci retracement yesterday, but it ended up breaking down. It did not break to the upside on sort of time frames, but it just kept on pushing down. Now, I still think that this move up looks more like an impulsive move, like it's potentially a wave A, or what I think is potentially possibly a wave 1, which means that this is actually probably a wave B or a wave 2 right now, and there's still a pretty good chance I think that it's going to respect this 78% and push up for a wave C, which would potentially look something like this, or potentially push up for a wave 3, which I think is more likely, which eventually will end up breaking this structure. So this is a daily time frame analysis, so it obviously is going to take a while to play out. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, yesterday I was talking about this 61% Fibonacci retracement right here. I said that if price breaks up here, then potentially it could be the end of this move and potentially a big move to the upside. Did price ever break up right here? This is our structure. Price never did break its structure. So now we're sitting at the 78% Fibonacci retracement. Unfortunately, our structure right now is actually quite a ways away from price. Our structure is actually still right here. So in order for me to prove that this is the end of this move, price would have to go up, break this high, then make a pullback, and then on the pullback is where I would be looking to go long the dollar via the dollar pairs themselves. So if I'm expecting that possibly the dollar could go up and break structure, then I would also be expecting a very similar move on the euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie, dollar CAD, dollar Swiss. Gold doesn't really follow the dollar index as well as the dollar pair, so we really can't use the dollar index as a roadmap for gold. So moving on to the euro dollar. Euro dollar pretty much is still sitting at that 50% Fibonacci retracement that it was sitting at yesterday. Just like I was saying yesterday, I still think there's a very good chance this move up is just a pullback, and I still think there's a very good chance this is going to go down. I personally think there's a good chance that this actually might even eventually go down and take out this low, but we can't rule out the possibility of it just being another B and C pullback within an uptrend also. But just like the dollar index, this is a very long time frame analysis, so we really don't have to worry about that too much. Right now, really all we are worrying about is longs, because we are definitely still in an uptrend. Now, this for sure looks like that classic 3, 4, 5 shape that you normally see right at the end of every trend. And we are sitting at the 50%. So if price does respect this fib level, if it does go down, if it does break structure, then I will definitely start looking for pullback entries to go short from that point forward. But unfortunately, I need to wait for the break of structure, and I need to wait for the first pullback in order to go short. Otherwise, we're just guessing, because the trend is definitely up on the higher roadmap time frames. There's a possibility it just pulls back, makes a higher low, and just pushes up. The higher time frame is your friend until the higher time frame proves otherwise. And until we get to the break to the downside, the higher time frame is definitely still up. Moving on to the pound dollar, pretty much the same story with the pound dollar. I'm watching these Fibonacci retracement levels very closely. Now, there is a possibility that the euro dollar and all these other dollar pairs just keep on pushing up and make new highs on the daily. But if it does break to the downside at a Fibonacci level, then there is definitely going to be an opportunity to go short for us. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, yesterday I was saying that if it breaks this low, then we were going to be bullish. Never did break that low. Ended up making a higher low, and I bet this right here was a perfect Fibonacci bounce, by the way. Now, the same thing applies. If it respects the 50%, goes down, breaks this structure. Now our new structure is right here. So if it breaks that structure, then that is what's going to cause me to become bearish after the break of structure. If it pushes up to the next fib level, I would expect to see, another, bounce and another push up. And then if it breaks there, then that would turn me bearish also. But we do have to keep in mind there is a possibility that this just goes up, bounces from a Fibonacci level, makes another higher low, and just keeps on pushing up, which is why I will definitely continue to trade with the trend, at least until the trend has changed. And the trend definitely has not changed yet. So moving on to the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar has been a very strong currency. The Aussie itself has been very strong. We have our Fibonacci extension on here to project, resistance levels. We got our Fibonacci extension from here to here, projecting out the bottom of here. So if it does break to the downside at a Fibonacci extension level on shorter time frames, that would likely be the end of this push up. But it definitely hasn't broken to the downside yet. It could just keep on going up, making higher highs, higher lows. We don't want to assume that this is over until the market actually tells us it's over. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, unfortunately, our most recent structure is way down here. That's what's going to prove to me that this is over. Now, if it goes up and makes another high, and then we'll count this as our new structure. But really, I mean, we're sitting at the 50% right now. So if it goes up, makes a double top, goes down, breaks structure, that would definitely turn me bearish, and I would definitely start looking for short entries on pullbacks. But there is definitely a possibility that this does not do that. There's a possibility it goes up, makes a pullback, goes up, and just keeps making higher highs, higher lows, which is why I will definitely continue to trade with the trend until we do have proof that the trend has changed. Moving on to the US dollar CAD, I mean, pretty much all these are the same story. I still think there's a possibility that it could respect, the 50%, which is the next support area for me. If it breaks to the upside on shorter time frames, I would expect to see a big bullish move for either a wave C or a wave 3, like I was explaining yesterday. This potentially could still be an A or a 1. This could be a B or a 2, and then it could go up for a 3 or a C. But there's also a possibility that it just keeps on pushing down. The trend is your friend, and the trend is down on this on the daily and on the weekly. Yesterday, we were looking for shorts. I said that if it breaks and holds above structure, then we potentially could become bullish, but it never did break and hold above structure. Instead, it made a lower high, and it's still making lower highs. If it goes down to the 50% Fibonacci extension, then goes up and starts breaking structure, that's what would turn me bullish on pullbacks. I would much prefer to see proof that this is turning. If we try to go long at the fib level, and then it goes up, and then it just makes another lower high, then that would cause us to miss the short most likely, and it would cause us to lose on the long. So until it actually gives us a nice solid break of structure, I would just continue to look for shorts. When it does give us a solid break of structure, yeah, you'll miss the first impulsive move up, but then you can just look for longs on the next pullback that would come after the break of structure. So moving on to the US dollar Swiss. The US dollar Swiss is the exact same thing as the dollar CAD pretty much. I still think this could be an A or a 1. I still think this could be a B or a 2. I still think that it could respect this 38% Fibonacci extension and push up for a C, which would look like this, and then down again. Or possibly it could push up for a 3, which would eventually go up and give us that break of structure on this time frame. So anyways, going all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, which is where we should be looking for entries. Now the US dollar Swiss did technically break above structure right here. So now what we need to do is we need to put on Fibonacci retracement on this last impulsive move up. If price does turn up at a fib level and start, either doing a double bottom, break a structure, or making nice engulfing moves to the upside, there is a pretty good chance that it could start that move to the upside that I was talking about on the higher time frames. But we really want to see a nice engulfing move to the upside. Right now, I would want to see this previous bearish candle right here engulfed, which it hasn't done yet. So if it does engulf that candle right there, then that definitely would turn me bullish, and I would definitely start to look for longs from that point forward. Otherwise, we definitely want to trade to the short side because that's what the dollar index is still telling us to do. Moving on to gold, like I was saying yesterday, I think the next good area of resistance seems like a real good possibility for a turn right here. So we are going to watch that area on shorter time frames. If we go down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, gold is really playing out pretty much exactly like I was talking about last week, which is this is likely an A, this is likely a B. We are most likely in a C right now, and this is probably an A, B, C, or B, or it's an A, B, C of 2. The 61% I think is a really good area because there's been a lot of support in the past, but it could push up to the 78%. It could even go up and make new highs. So what is going to turn us bearish is a break to the downside at a Fibonacci level. If it goes to the 61% and breaks down, then that would turn us bearish. If it doesn't break down there, but it makes higher lows, then we would keep an eye on the 78%. If it breaks down at the 78%, then that would cause me to be bearish. If it doesn't break down at any of those levels, then there's no reason to go short, and there's no reason to do anything except for try to go long at the end of every pullback we see, because assuming that the move is over until the move is actually proven to be over is not a very good idea. So definitely still looking for longs in an uptrend on this. Moving on to the yen pairs, the US dollar yen. Now, the dollar yen did make a new low, and there is a possibility that the yen pairs have found a top on the higher time phase. There's a possibility this just keeps on going down. So, no matter what I say on sort of time phase, just keep in mind there is a really good possibility the yen pairs could just keep on going down on the daily, making lower lows, lower highs. But we are sitting at the 78%, so we definitely do want to keep an eye out for a break to the upside on sort of time phase, just in case it does decide to turn back up. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, what I want to see right here, well, first of all, the thing to notice is the lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. This push up right here would have to go all the way up here to break structure, which tells me that there's probably a really good chance that it's not going to do that. It is probably actually going to push down again, making another lower high. If it makes another lower high, goes down, makes another lower low, then turns up and breaks that lower high, that's where it would turn me bullish, and that's what would cause me to start looking for longs on pullbacks. But like I said, we need to be very careful with assuming anything. There's a possibility that this thing just goes up, makes a lower high, pushes beyond the 78%, makes another lower high, and just keeps on going. Trading with the trend on the yen pairs is also going to be the best bet for us. Going on to the euro yen. So what we have going on the euro again is we got our Fibonacci extension on the last impulsive move down, projected off the top of the last move to the upside. That is going to be our best areas for support on the way down. We did make a little bit of a pullback at the 78%. There is a chance that it respects this area and goes up. But like I said, there's also a chance that the yen pairs are trying to find a top on the weekly. And if that is true, this potentially could be a very strong move to the downside, and it potentially could just keep on going down. We need to keep in mind that dollar and the yen pairs could just keep on trending and they may not actually turn. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, we're sitting at the 78%. So what do we want to see? We want to see a break of structure to the upside at the 78% to go bullish. Otherwise, it could go up, it could make a lower high, it could make a lower high, then it could push down again. So I would definitely still be recommending shorts. Now, if it goes up, makes a lower high, goes down, hits that Fibonacci level again, then turns up, then breaks structure, that is what would turn me bullish in a much, much bigger way. If it doesn't do that, but instead makes a lower high, just goes down, doesn't break structure, makes a lower high and goes down, then why would you want to go long? Why wouldn't you just want to keep trading these lower highs and just keep trading with the higher time frame trends? Now moving on to the pound yen. The pound yen is also pretty much the same story. The pound is a little bit weaker than the euro right now. I got my Fibonacci extension from here to here, projected off this last top. I think those are going to be the best areas of support. We are sitting at the 100% Fibonacci extension, which is often a really good area for a possible turn. So we do want to keep an eye out for a possible turn at this level. But just like on the other yen pairs, there is a possibility that this is trying to make a top on the weekly. If this does make a top on the weekly, then it potentially is going to keep on going down, making lower lows and lower highs. So taking it all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. Every single one of these structures is a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. I guess the last structure we would have to say is right here. So if it goes up and breaks that in a big way, then I would look for a pullback entry to go long after the break. If it doesn't do that, but instead it goes up, makes like a three-way pullback, makes another lower high, then we want to continue to go short. We really, really want to continue to trade with these trends. There's a lot of volatility in the markets right now. There's a lot of uncertainty in the markets. There's a lot of things going on in the world. When the markets, it kind of reminds me of 2008. In 2008, 2009, and at the beginning of COVID, if you literally just traded with the trend for that whole year, you would have made unbelievable amounts of money. So trying to pick tops and bottoms during these uncertain times in the markets is kind of crazy to me. We don't want to try to pick the top and bottom. We'll know when it's a bottom because we'll see a break of structure, we'll see a pullback, and then we'll go long after the pullback. We don't need to pick the bottom. The market will show us when it's made a bottom or when it's made a top. The best thing for us to do is to trade with the trend. If it goes up, makes a lower high, then we definitely just want to continue to look for shorts every single chance we get. So anyways, don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, if you want to follow along with all my trades and want to be part of a really good trading community on Discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading to everyone.